Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we keep trying to bring you two puzzles every day. The schedule is hectic, but that is our aim. And today, well, then March the 9th, tomorrow is the birthday of, here we go, Taeyeon, the singer in the group Girls' Generation. Now, this is K-pop, Korean pop, and I don't know anything about it. But Jeff Wages is clearly a fan of K-pop and is in Korea, or was when he wrote us an email recently, saying that he'd just got into the Korean script. He's very interested in Hangul, how they write letters. We've seen a bit of that, actually, in puzzles by Sudoku lately, who has put the, being Korean, has put the Korean script in the rule set when you click on the puzzle. Now, this time, the Korean script is in the grid and has been converted into colours. The colours create lines. The lines create a Sudoku. Jeff Wages has been very clever with this, and he's used the first couple of characters of Taeyeon's name, I think. Something like that. Anyway, Taeyeon's birthday is tomorrow, but by the time Jeff sees this, it'll be today, if you see what I mean. That's what he told us. So there you go. That is the reason behind this puzzle. It's called Kid Leader. Although I looked up Taeyeon, she's 35, so I'm not sure about the kid. I don't quite, I don't understand the references. K-pop is way outside my spectrum of understanding. And let's leave that where it is for now, because otherwise you're exposing an old man to a young person's pursuit. Now, let's instead tell you about Patreon, where the wonderful Blobs has created the even more marvellous Nurikabe puzzle pack. 10 puzzles based on the Nurikabe theme, with variant rules in each about how the islands work. It's really clever and thoroughly enjoyable. 10 puzzles to enter the competition and a couple of bonus puzzles, because Blobs is nothing if not generous. And you can really enjoy that if you if you join us on Patreon and check the posts. You'll also see a number of connections videos and the odd crossword videos, solutions to last month's puzzles, and very well worth trying. Loads of content there. If you're a keen puzzler, Patreon's the place to go. Or you could buy all of our apps, which include Line Sudoku. They definitely feature a number of puzzles which mix at least the green and pink lines here, the Renban and German Whisper type lines. And actually, these are 10 lines in grey, so there's some puzzles that feature that too. So that is definitely something that you should consider. But our latest app is Fog of War, and it's great fun. What else have we got going on? We've got our merchandise, which features the new 2025 shirt designed by Amber Pitcher. Do check that out. It's the year of the secret squared, don't you know? And that's on the links under the video as well, along with SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. Do check out everything connected with the channel, because it's great fun. Or watch every video, or leave a comment, or check us when we do occasional streams. There's so many ways to engage with the channel, and we love it when you do. Thank you for being such a kind community and your nice comments. Right, let's have a look at the rules of Kid Leader. So, first of all, normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, along a green line, any two adjacent digits must have a difference between them of at least 5. So 1 and 6 could go in these two cells, or 3 and 9, but not 3 and 7. That's a fairly simple rule to understand. Basically, on each green line, you have to take every two digits that are connected and consider the difference between them. On a pink line, you have to consider the whole line and all the digits on it, and for this line, that includes all these 5, will be consecutive with each other. No repeats, but they will be consecutive digits, and they can appear in any order. And then digits on a grey line sum to 10. We have 3 grey lines, so those two sum to 10, those two do, and those 3. The normal 10-line rules worded slightly differently, but would amount to the same thing in this puzzle. Now, there is a little note in the rule that lines can share endpoints, but otherwise don't overlap. And that's just to make you comfortable that we're not hiding green lines under grey lines or grey lines under pink lines or anything. That's not what's going on in this puzzle. Every bit of line is either green, pink or grey and not both. Excuse me, sorry, there we go, that's better. Now, we are going to give it a try now. Do yourself a favour, give it a try on the first puzzle. Oh, I'm really struggling today. You will enjoy it if you click the first link under the video, which is how to play this puzzle in our software. And let's get cracking. Okay, so I know 3 things about green lines, and they're worth mentioning before we get going. One is that you can never put 5 on a green line. And look at the central column if you don't think that's interesting. The second thing is that along a green line, once you don't have 5 on it, because there is no Sudoku digit that can go next to 5, you must have either digits lower than 5 or digits higher than 5. Now, you can never have 2 of the same, 2 that are higher than 5 consecutively, because the difference would never be any more than 3, and that disobeys the rules. So we will alternate along the green lines between high, low, high, or the other way around, low, high, low, high, low. And finally, I think it may be relevant here, 4 and 6 are quite difficult to place. We sometimes call them monogamous digits, because each can only have one partner. The 4 can only sit next to a 9. So if you were trying to put a 4 here, you would fail, because you would have to put 9s in both those cells, and that would break Sudoku rules in the column and the box. So those are the useful things to know about green lines. And let's start then with the fact this is the longest green line in the puzzle, and it must alternate between high and low. Now, I don't know which is high and which is low, so I'm going to colour some of the cells green and some of them pink, and try and work out at some point in the puzzle whether green is high and pink is low, or vice versa. We can also make another conclusion about grey. Grey, well, 2-cell grey we can. 2-cell grey that adds up to 10 means you must have, again, 1 low digit and 1 high digit. In fact, it's quite similar. You can't have a 5, because you would need both cells to be 5, and that would break Sudoku rules. So if this is low, this is high. A 10 in 2 digits is made up of 1 from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 from 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, we can alternate. That's green, that's pink. Oh, I was going to say, I did hint you that the central column where 5 goes is interesting. There's only 1 cell that has no green in it. And then where 5 goes in box 2 must be in one of those cells. So we can place 5 in box 5 as well. Oh, we can narrow it down in box 1, which has a lot of cells touched by green. And that removes a 5 from row 2, column 6 as a potential digit. So these corner marks mean places within a box where I am prepared to accept such a digit might be. That's why we're using them in the corner. Oh, we can colour this cell because we can count up pink and green in column 5. Now, so far we've got 3 pink and 2 green. Down here it must be 1 of each. We don't know which order, but it must be 1 of each. And that's going to be 4 pink and 3 green. And each column, once you work out how many high and low digits and 5s there are, must have 4 pink and 4 green. So this one is green. And that's on another green line, which must alternate between pink and green as well. So we might cover the whole grid in pink and green before we find out what's high and low. And now I've just worked out that that is entirely not true, because this grey line can't countenance those 2 digits being high. This grey line adds up to 10 in total. If those 2 were high, they'd be at least 6 and 7. And this one would have to be -3 or a bigger minus number. I mean, you know what I mean. So that reveals that pink must be low. So I'm going to recolor pink as blue because I feel much more comfortable with blue being low. It's like a thermometer where a cold temperature is and the blue scale and the hot temperature goes towards the sort of red end of the spectrum. Now, do we know, we don't know an alternation rule here. I'm going to think about those monogamous digits. So, oh no, yes, I am going to think about the monogamous digits. So, in the places that I can find where their two neighbours see each other, I'm going to put in candidates of 7, 8, 9 in the high digits and 1, 2, 3 in the low digits. I think it's just those cells. But that is very helpful. So why does that have two neighbours that see each other? Because there they are. Why does that one? Very simple. This one even on the knuckle here, those two are in the same box. So this digit now adds up to 10 with that one. And that's really nice because now it must be 7, 8 or 9. And we have a triple. And therefore the 6 has to be down here, and we know exactly where that goes. We can't put 6 here because both of those would be a 1. So 6 is going here. Then we can colour along this line. Now be a little careful as you bridge over between the two greens on this pink, because now we don't alternate, we repeat the colour. Why is that, you're wondering? Well, those two pink lines, the rule for pink is that we've got a set of consecutive digits. So on a 2-cell pink line, those two digits are consecutive with each other. We know that neither of them is a 5 because they're both on green lines. And therefore they must be from the same high set or low set as each other. So now we can alternate along this line. Can we do oh, this is a 1. Actually, let's do numbers in the central column. Because next to 6 you have to put a 1. That stops this being a 1. Now, one of these two is a 4, and the only digit 4 can connect with on a green line is 9. It's monogamous. So one of those is a 4. That means one of these is a 9. That means this isn't a 9. And that's going to limit these blue cells because 7 and 8 can't go next to 4. So these are from 1, 2, 3. Down here, there's a 1 in the box. But these would be really limited if that was a 7. They would be 1 and 2. And on their 10 line, that would have to be a 7 as well. That's really pretty, actually. If that was a 7, these would have to be 1 and 2 because they have to be 5 away from 7 and they have to be different. And once those would be 1 and 2, this would be a 7, and that would put 2 7s in the same row of the puzzle. So that's not a 7, that's an 8. Now there's a neat point here. One of these two that I've got highlighted is a 7, and this can't be through. Oh, hang on, no. I was imagining these were green lines on both sides. Oh, have I made a mistake? Let me just go back. I think earlier, sorry, I just want to, no, it was here. Where was it? Sorry, I can't remember. I know where it was. So I started working out about 4s and 9s by saying one of these was 4. Yes, it's okay. Sorry, I wasn't looking at a grey line. I was looking at green connections there and there both times. That proved one of those had to be a 9. That took 9 out of that cell. That made these from 1, 2, 3. It's still true that if that's a 7, this is a 1, 2 pair and that's a 7. So my conclusions were all fine. I'm sorry. I still say, no, I don't say anymore. I say what I say now is we can just fill in this grey line because the candidates that are left, and they are correct, mean this is a 3, 7, 10 line. It's very odd when the lines alternate like this. It doesn't, I'm not clever at that. That has to be an 8 now because it's touching 3 and 9 has gone in the box. Now, we know that can't be a 4. So it must be 2 in the column, and that's a 4. Central column is finished. This is 6 or 7. This one is 6 or 9. And this is low. Now, this is low and not a 2 now. Now, I think all the conclusions we had here are gone, because this pair could add up to anything out of 3, 4, or 5. What does that leave this to be? 5, 6, or 7. Oh, well, it's not allowed to be a 7. Sorry, it's not allowed to be a 5 because of that. So it is 6 or 7. I don't think this can be a 3, because if that was a 3, this would be 2, and that would have to be 5. So it is another neat thing on the diamond. That's a 1. Although actually that then doesn't tell us. This pair adds up to 9 for the 10 line. That one is at least 5 distant from that. Yeah, this is either a 2-7 or a 3-6 pair, and we don't know now. That can't be 1 anymore. That stops this being 6, though. And I was going to say that makes this a 6 at the top. It does. That's by Sudoku. There's no 6 there. There's got to be a 6 there. So, this group of cells by elimination are 2, 5, 7. These are from 3, 4, 6 and definitely include a 6. 2, 5, 7 has an effect on this cell. That becomes 3. Now we can do the sum on the 10 line. That's a 6. That places 6 in the central box. 6, 1, 3. These are from 4, 8, 9. We can't have 4 at the bottom. Now, that becomes 8 or 9. On the pink line, this is 9, 8, or 7. This one is already 2 or 3. It can't be 4 because its neighbours see each other. And this is from 7, 8, 9 as well, so we've got a triple. Actually, we can do very slightly better than those pencil marks, because this pink line, being 2 consecutive digits, must have 1 odd and 1 even. The even digit is an 8, so in the row 8 is in one of those cells and not there. Now, let's have a look at this green line in box 1. The green lines are traditionally and generally more helpful than the pinks. Oh, this has 4 digits. Okay, I don't know the colours. Let's go back to green and pink. So pink for those. No, hang on. You see, I have to be very careful with the change in line colour. But again, a 2-line, 10 line does alternate between high and low, so that is fair. I can make those pink and these green, and 5 and some other digit are there. But my normal strictures about, if this was all a green line, I would immediately say one of the end digits is a 4 or a 6. And in this puzzle, given those at this point, I would know it was there. But now, today, I don't have that, because that could be 4 or 6 perfectly happily. On a grey line, you can put both 4 and 6. So let's use the grey line as a grey line instead of complaining that it's not a green line. It's a grey line, and it's not 3, 7 or 2, 8 in this row. So it's either a 1, 9 pair adding to 10 or a 4, 6 pair. I think it's almost certainly 4, 6, because that gives this line a lot of freedom. No, it's not 4, 6. Right, how could this digit be 4 or 6? Look at its green connection to here. If that was a 4, this would have to be a 9. Uh-oh, impossible. If that was a 6, this would have to be a 1. Uh-oh, impossible. So that is not 4 or 6, it's 1 or 9. So that is as well. Now, what are we going to do with the pink 4 or 6? We're going to have to put it here, because it can't be in those, and it must be somewhere in one of these 4 pink cells. Now, what does that tell us about? It tells us something very interesting about this line, which is that it's got a very extreme digit on it. So you can know from seeing a 5-cell line that it must have a 5 on, because if you just think about the list of Sudoku digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, any consecutive 5 that you take passes through the middle one, which is 5. But on this line, you know that it's either got a 1 on it and is therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in some order, or that's a 9 and it's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm not really sure how to pencil mark that. I mean, I could put that there's a 5 in one of those cells, but wait a second. There's a 6 in one of them as well because of Sudoku. Look at those two 6s. They're saying there's a 6 there. And that is going to tell us the colours of pink and green in box 1. It's lovely, this. Right. Now there's a 6 on this line. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's no 1 on it. That's a 9. And it is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. This digit can't be 6 or 7. Now, let's go up here. We now know that pink is high and green is low because we got that 9. This is a 1. This is a 6 now. These two pink, they're now orange cells, are 7 and 8. These are monogamous, not non-monogamous. They must be 2 and 3. They can't be 4 because, in fact, this one is better because it must touch a 7 on one side or the other. Therefore, it can't be 3. So that's a 2. That's a 3. 3 must be next to 8. That's a 7. And this pair is a 4, 5 left over. This is done. It sees 2 and 7 now. 8 cannot be in those two cells. I think we've exposed this one as a 5. It's in the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Renban, and it sees 6, 7, 8 and 9 already. So that's a 5. And that means we can restrict this. Oh, sorry, I didn't write in the full digit. There we go. We can restrict this set to 6, 7, 8. That is giving us 3, 4, 5 over this side of the puzzle. What does that tell us for this pink line? Not a lot. Actually, the fact that we've got 2 5s there tells us that the 5 on the pink line, which is 5 cells in total, must be in one of those cells. And that is going to restrict 5 in box 3 to one of those two. There must be a 5 in one of those two. But, okay, let's think about, I don't know. Oh, this digit is disambiguated because of this connection. It can't be 4. That's a 3. That's a 4. Now, down here we've got 2, 4, 7. The bottom one can't be 7 because this is an effective 7, 8, 9 triple. Oh, 7's in one of those cells, so it's exactly the same as it was up here. 7 is in one of those cells. This can't be a 3. It would be touching 7 on one side or the other. So that's a 2. That's a 4 now. In this bottom row, this is a 3, 5, 6 triple. 3 and 5 are confined to those cells, and that's 6 in the corner. That makes this 7. I love the flow of this puzzle. It just goes round and round the grid, helping us. 1, 2, 4 are left in the first column. That can't be 4. Now, I thought we were going to get help with this. We haven't really. So let's think about this box. 5, 7, 6, 8 there. We've now got a 4 here. So one of those two is a 4. Right, these digits are from 1, 2, 3, 9. I know that's a lot of pencil marking, but it means something quite important. Where is 7? It means 7 is on this line. Does that limit this digit? No, it could still be a 3. Right, what are these two though? Yeah, that's interesting. Right, they are from 1, 2, 3, 7 and 9. But. They can't involve 1 or 2 because 7 is definitely on this line. And the furthest down the list of digits you can go with a 5-cell line, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You can't get to 2 or 1. So we can take 1 and 2 off. Oh, we can take 3 off because it's in a triple here in the box. Straightforward when you see it. Right. I think this has to be a 5 now. The line has a 9 on it, so it must be 98765. So that's the 6-8 pair, that's 5. This is now the last bit of colouring that helps in the puzzle. Makes this low, and look, we can fill it in. It can't be 3 or 2 by Sudoku. It can't be 4 because of what it's next to on a green line. That's a 1. Okay, I'm instantly going to get rid of all the colour in the grid because it's done its job. We just don't need it anymore. And let's get rid of the pencil marking there and the 5s in those cells. Now we've got 7, 9 there, so we can take 9 out of those. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple. This is now a 4, 9 pair. 1, 2 and 8 here, but the central one can't be 1 or 2, so it's an 8. That's because I'm seeing this 1 and 2 down here, the sort of Sudoku I would normally miss. We've also got a 7, 9 pair in the final column, so other digits in the final column are from 1, 2, 3, 4. The top one can't be 2 or 4. This one, oh, this one can't be 1, 4 or 3, look. So that must be a 2. And that's going to do the rest of the digits, and it's going to make the top right corner a 3, and that's 3 in the corner. Okay, 2 looks across and gives us a 7. This is a 5, 7 pair. This is 8 and 6, 1 and 9. I think we're on the home stretch here. That 9 has sorted out the 7, 9 pair there. That 7 looks back up. I don't understand how we haven't figured this out, but it's coming. This is now 9. It sees 7 and 8 in the column, so that deals with a lot of digits down there. What have we got left to place here? 3, 4, 5. So that's sitting right next to a 5, 3 pair. You can't miss that that's a 4. And these are all done. The whole of columns 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are done apart from that pair. So there's no more lines to consider. It's just Sudoku. That can't be 2 or 1 in the column. That's very analogous with that situation, isn't it? So that's a 3. That's a 5. Look at this. 3 there. Mistype. 5, 4. 4, 9. 2, 4, 1. Right. 6 in this column only has 1 location. 9 in this column now can be placed. These are a 7, 8 pair. I don't know the order. This is 1, 2 or 4, but it's not 4. How am I not finished here? I think I am finished. When I consider that cell, it sees a 1, 4 pair. And everything is getting done, and we can say a very happy birthday to Taeyeon. And thank you, Jeff Wages, for thinking of us and sending us this puzzle to do on her birthday. Ooh, loads of people have done it in the last 2 weeks, probably because of its approachability. Great fun, and thank you for watching. As always on the channel, it's just a pleasure to bring you these variant Sudokus every day, and we're very happy to do so. So leave a kind comment if it suits you. And we'll see you again tomorrow if you dare to come back for more variant Sudoku. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.